Hello, and welcome to PVTV News. My name is Josiah Thompson.
And I'm Hannah Winchell, bringing you the latest news stories.
Fire is an element that looks cool, but doesn't feel cool. Fire can be used in all sorts of mediums if you're willing to take a risk like that. For Lisa Frederick, fire is an awesome way of creating some art. Pyromania is an impulse disorder that when fires are set by the individual, they get a great feeling of great pleasure. Lisa is a pyromaniac, and her art consists of setting fire to agricultural prints of city structures to give the effect of a burning city. She also burns gunpowder on paper to show the art in the burns. Fire is dangerous, and Lisa goes on to tell us that it is important to control this element because it will harm you. Lisa Frederick also has her own website for her artwork. She has also done some artwork for other people too. If you would like to view her artwork or read more about her, go to www.artisticpyrotechnics.com.
There are many creatures that hang out in and under the water, and this is a known fact. The hydra is a small freshwater creature that, like most Americans, tears itself apart when it's hungry. However, we typically tear ourselves up mentally and not all the time physically and cellularly. This creature actually stretches its cells while its mouth is opening. Why does it do this? Because it has no lips to keep a hole sealed off and or open at times of feeding. The mouth is a thin sheet of skin. Those cells, as stated earlier, stretch open to feed. The opening of the mouth looks exactly like someone opening their eyes really wide. In a new study, biophysicists have filmed hydras as they create these temporary rigs in the skin, showing for the first time how its cells manage the maneuver. The findings reported in the Biophysical Journal may offer clues into tissue regeneration.
A dog born with a rare birth defect has been waiting a long time for an adoption that never came. It turns out the wait was worth it because he was a perfect match for a little girl with the same condition. In San Francisco, an animal shelter rescued an 8-year-old tan chihuahua. However, no one wanted to adopt him. He was born with a condition that prevents his bones in the hands or feet from fully developing. However, this does not stop the shelter from trying to find a good home. The shelter looked high and low and all over the U.S. to find the one person that would be the perfect match for the chihuahua. Finally, finding her in Indiana, 7-month-old Grace was the perfect match they were looking for.
The force is strong with Luke and his Labrador Jedi, strong enough to have saved the boy's life last week. When the 7-year-old's blood sugar level dropped alarmingly low during his sleep, his diabetes-sniffing dog leapt into action and into Luke's parents' bed to alert them of the danger. When Luke's mother, Dory Natal, had put him to bed, she had gotten a safe 100 milligram diluted reading on his glucose level. But when she checked again after Jedi's warning, it had dropped to the life-threatening level of 57, 13 points below the lowest acceptable level for someone with diabetes. Even a high-tech sensor implanted below Luke's skin, which allowed for continuous glucose monitoring, didn't set off any alarms. It is only thanks to Jedi's nose that the boy was able to be given a glucose tab to be quickly boosted into his blood sugar. Jedi joined the family as a puppy, just after Luke was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. The Labrador began training as a diabetes alert dog, using his nose to hit on warning signs of extreme decline or increasing glucose levels. The boy and his dog are inseparable, with Jedi staying close to Luke wherever he goes.
Now to Nathan Antonellis with another news story.
Virginia McLaurin became an internet sensation recently when she danced with the Obamas at the White House during Black History Month. The more details people learned about the 106-year-old lady, the more they loved her and wanted to do something nice for her. Miss McLaurin volunteers as a foster grandmother 40 hours every week. But though she is still spry, the day may come where she may not be able to climb the difficult flight of stairs to her apartment in Washington, D.C., where she has lived since 1939. That's why a You-Caring crowdfunding campaign was set up for the centenarian by her family and neighbors upon the request of social media followers asking how they can help the super senior. $22,000 has already been raised towards the $50,000 goal to pay for the first floor home close to her church and a cell phone so that way she can continue leading an active role in the community. Thank you to everyone who has helped me so much run this race I'm trying to run, Virginia said. I pray every day that the Lord will look down on me and to you to shine his light, to send his blessing that the Lord has sent me.
Do you make it a habit to avoid black cats and carry a lucky rabbit's foot in your pocket? Some scientists say we've evolved to be superstitious. Superstitious thinking is the result of falsely linking a cause to an effect. Surely you've heard of a sports player who hasn't shaved for the whole season. Scientists say that believing a bushy beard will help them and can actually benefit them. It has been theorized that superstitions grew out of fears humans rightly had in prehistoric times. Rustling in the grass might have just been the wind, but it could have been a predator. erring on the side of caution could have saved the caveman's life. Our brains connect the dots in a situation whether or not it's logical, and we change our behavior accordingly. If you clap your hands at a nearby pigeon, it will quickly fly away. The pigeon evolved just like the caveman, to be better safe than sorry. Superstitions can sometimes contribute to our demise. A 2003 study showed that road fatalities in South America are 10 times more common than the United States because of a superstitious belief that accidents result from witchcraft or that certain medicines prevent car crashes. Our ingrained tendencies for superstitious beliefs can be just as likely to work our detriment as our benefit.
The winner of Philadelphia's Big Brother of the Century Award, Tom McElvogue, has been a mentor to many kids over the years. Even as a busy executive and father, he has always had time to make a difference as a mentor. In his acceptance speech, Tom told a story about the noble character that shined through one of the students he mentored, even in the face of temporary fame. The boy named Joe would rather turn down that fame if Tom couldn't be a part of it. Joe and Tom started as a great team, and that team has grown stronger over the time. Joe was in Tom's wedding, and their families have gotten together every Christmas since they met 43 years ago.
Rugger, a Labrador Retriever and a German Shepherd mix, was unloved as a puppy, angry and aggressive in later years, and is going blind. But as Zambia's first anti-poaching canine, he's become a very good dog, catching more than 150 poachers since going to work in 2014. Trained by Parker and others at Working Dogs for Conservation, Rugger will signal when he's spotted weapons or ivory by staring at the place the contraband is hidden. During a recent demonstration in Zambia, he found a tiny piece of ivory hidden in a matchbox in less than 3 minutes. Some of the spectators thought his prowess was a form of witchcraft.
In response to the successful recovery of one of the nation's most iconic animals, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service today proposed to remove the grizzly bear in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem from the federal list of endangered and threatened wildlife. The restoration of the grizzly bear in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho during the last 3 decades stands as one of America's greatest conservation successes. A testament to the value of the Endangered Species Act and the strong partnership it drives, the Yellowstone grizzly bear population has rebounded from as few as 136 bears in 1975 to an estimated 700 or more today.
When a woman couldn't decide which dogs to rescue from a rundown shelter, she bought the whole place and intends to save all 250 of them. Danielle Eden and her husband regularly visit animal shelters, choosing dogs that are living in the worst conditions to bring home to their 50-acre Dogtails Sanctuary in King, Ontario. There they get long walks, training, and medical care before being placed in new homes. She usually selects 10 to 20 dogs in greatest need, but when Danielle saw the pups packed into an Israeli shelter, she realized they were all in deep trouble. Some had been there for years, fighting over scraps of bread and living with rats. The couple brought the entire shelter on the spot, and Danielle went to work rescuing the dogs since the first of the year. She was able to place 90 of them in homes or other shelters in Israel. She brought 25 of the healthiest dogs back to the Dogtails in Canada. Within a week of arriving at the sanctuary, the dogs had gone through an amazing change. They began coming out of their shells, learning to trust people again, fed healthy diets. They were no longer fighting each other for scraps, but people were practically fighting each other to adopt them. More than half found new homes within 3 weeks.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Josiah Thompson.
And I'm Hannah Winchell. Have a good day.